They told you cheese was something to avoid after 60. Too much fat, too much salt, too risky for your heart. And for decades, that message stuck. But there's a hidden problem with that advice. Because after 60, the real issue is not just what you eat. It's how your body responds to what you eat. Inside your muscles, something slowly changes with age. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but silently. Muscle tissue becomes less responsive to growth signals. Protein that once easily built strength in your 30s and 40s no longer creates the same effect in your 60s and beyond. This condition is known in medical science as anabolic resistance. And it is one of the key biological drivers behind age-related muscle loss, a condition called sarcopenia. Now here's the part most people never hear explained clearly. Your muscles are not simply shrinking with age. They are entering a state where rebuilding becomes less efficient than breakdown. So even normal daily activity slowly shifts the balance in the wrong direction. Walking, climbing stairs, carrying groceries. All of these still break down muscle fibers, but the rebuilding response becomes weaker. And over time, that creates gradual loss of strength, balance, and independence. Protein still matters, but after 60, not all protein works equally. One of the most important amino acids involved in muscle signaling is leucine. Think of leucine as a biological trigger. It doesn't build muscle directly. It tells your body to start the muscle building process. But as we age, muscle sensitivity to leucine decreases. So you need more of it to get the same signal. And this is where certain dairy foods, especially cheeses, become interesting. Not because they are magical, but because they are naturally dense in amino acids that support this signaling system. So today, I'm going to walk you through 3 cheeses. Each one plays a different biological role. One supports muscle building signals, one supports overnight repair, and one supports recovery after movement. Let's begin. Parmesan cheese is often treated as just a garnish, a sprinkle on pasta, a topping on soup, something small. But nutritionally, it is extremely dense. Parmesan is a hard-aged cheese. During aging, water content decreases while protein concentration increases. What remains is a highly concentrated source of amino acids, including branch-chain amino acids, especially leucine. Leucine is important because it helps activate muscle protein synthesis. It acts like a signal that tells muscle cells to begin rebuilding. But after 60, that signal becomes harder to trigger. So foods that provide higher leucine density in small amounts become more relevant. Parmesan does exactly that. Small amount, high concentration, strong biological signal. Another benefit is digestibility. Because Parmesan is aged, it contains very little lactose. That makes it easier for many older adults to tolerate. But here is the important point. Parmesan is not meant to be a main protein source. It works best as a small addition to meals, a way to enhance the protein quality of foods you are already eating. Sprinkled over vegetables, eggs, lentils, or soups. The key is consistency, not quantity. Because muscle protein synthesis responds better to repeated stimulation over time. Now let's move to cottage cheese. Cottage cheese behaves very differently. It contains a protein called casein. Casein digests slowly in the body. Instead of being absorbed quickly, it releases amino acids gradually over several hours. This becomes especially important at night, because during sleep, your body enters a fasting state. No food intake means no new protein supply, so the body begins relying more on internal reserves. In older adults, this can contribute to gradual overnight muscle breakdown. Casein helps reduce that effect. It acts like a slow drip of amino acids throughout the night, supporting muscle maintenance during the longest fasting period of the day. Some clinical nutrition studies in older adults have shown that pre-sleep protein intake may support overnight muscle protein synthesis compared to no intake. But the key idea is not just muscle growth, it is muscle protection, reducing the gap between breakdown and repair. That is where cottage cheese becomes useful. The best time to consume it is in the evening, not earlier in the day, but before sleep, because that is when its slow release effect matters most. Think of it as a nighttime maintenance system for your muscles. Now we move to ricotta. Ricotta is different again. It is made from whey proteins. These proteins are fast digesting and quickly absorbed into the bloodstream. This creates a rapid rise in amino acids after eating. This is important because muscle tissue becomes more responsive to nutrients after movement. Even light activity like walking or household tasks can increase this sensitivity. This is sometimes referred to as a post-activity anabolic window. Ricotta fits well into this window. It delivers amino acids when the body is most ready to use them, supporting recovery after daily movement. Not just exercise, but normal physical activity. Ricotta also contains bioactive compounds that may support recovery processes in the body, especially in relation to how muscle tissue responds to physical stress. So while Parmesan supports signaling and cottage cheese supports overnight maintenance, ricotta supports recovery after movement. Fast, responsive, and efficient. Now it is important to understand something clearly. None of these foods work alone. Muscle maintenance is a system, not a single ingredient solution. Three things still matter most: total protein intake across the day, regular physical movement, and consistency over time. Another common mistake is thinking more protein automatically means more muscle. But after 60, the body is often limited by response efficiency, not availability. So balance matters more than excess, and highly processed diets, excess sugar, and inactivity can reduce the effectiveness of even good nutrition. Now let's bring everything together. After 60, muscle loss is driven by reduced sensitivity, slower repair, and changes in cellular energy systems. Parmesan helps support muscle-building signals. Cottage cheese helps maintain amino acid supply during sleep. Ricotta helps support recovery after movement. 3 foods, 3 different roles, 1 shared purpose, supporting muscle maintenance in an aging body. But the deeper truth is this: muscle health is not only about how much protein you consume. It is about how effectively your body responds to it. And that response can be supported, but not forced. Now I want to ask you something. Have you noticed changes in your strength, balance, or energy in recent years? And which of these foods do you already include in your routine? Share your experience in the comments below. And if this helped you understand your body better, consider subscribing for more evidence-based guidance on healthy aging, strength, and metabolism. Because understanding your body is the first step in maintaining your independence. Until next time, this is Dr. Richard. Take care of your strength, because it is one of the most important assets you still have control over.